So here is the circuit in a reset state, and to put it in the lock position, I press S, and you can see that the light turns blue, and then immediately after I press L. It is now in the lock state, and to unlock it, I press S again, and the light turns blue, and I press the preset code, which is 314, and U to set it to the unlock state. So now to see what's happening, here we get an input of each button press, and each button press will go into another FSM called key press that detects which buttons are being pressed, and then the output of that is a 16-bit one-hot coding of what specific key is being pressed, and it also records if no key is being pressed or if two keys are being pressed at the same time. The output of that is then fed into a key release FSM, which detects when the button has been released, because you don't want to start an action until a button has been released. So here you record when it's been pressed down, and here you check when it has been released. And only once it's been released, you want an action to occur. So once the lock controller is turned on, you're in this power on state, and you stay in the power on state until S key press has been detected. And once the S key press has been detected, you go into this entering key state, where you just wait for keys to be pressed. If you press S or any other number, you re-enter the entering key state. The only way to exit the key state is by pressing L or U. Also, as soon as you enter this entering key state, the LED blue light is triggered to be on, and it will remain on until you exit by pressing either L or U. If you press an L here, one of two things can happen. If you press the L and it doesn't immediately follow an S, then you want to go into this error state. So here we check if S is followed immediately by an L, or if there's an intermediate key in between. So from an L press with an intermediate key, you would go into an error state. If the L follows the S without anything in between, you enter the lock state. And as soon as you enter the lock state, the LED blue light will trigger off, and let's see, lock command is 1 and lock action is also 1. So that's if L has been pressed. If U has been pressed, two things can happen. If U is pressed and the three previous codes match the preset code, then you unlock, and as soon as you unlock, the LED light turns off and lock action becomes 1. If you press a U and the three previous keys do not match, then you come here and the error state is triggered, and as soon as the error state is triggered, the red LED turns on here, and you enter the error state. Now, once in the error state, you cannot leave the error state unless an S is pressed. And once an S is pressed, you go back to the entering key state, and you will wait for another sequence of keys to be entered.